We're ready to go.
Hey now. Welcome to SportsCenter with Jay and Dan. Hope you had a great weekend. Mine was spent eating hash browns and playing golf in the rain.
Mine too. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very strange. We're in Saskatoon all weekend. It was very cold. And then we come back to Toronto. It's very hot.
Very hot.
And then you get into the studio and it's freezing.
That's right. Our bodies are just going to... Well, our bodies are always confused.
They're breaking down. They're really breaking down. Speaking of bodies breaking down, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
It was a question of whether he would play in Week 2 against his division rivals, the Minnesota Vikings. He did start after suffering a bone bruise and a sprained MCL in Week 1. Led a 20-point second-half comeback against the Bears. You may remember that from Week 1. Wearing a heavy knee brace. Opening drive was taken down by Sheldon Richardson and a little slow to get up. Made Packers fans nervous. Now 7-7. Knee's looking pretty good here as he scrambles for the first down. Same drive. Rodgers to Devontae Adams, who makes a couple of beautiful moves into the end zone. Rodgers, 40th career TD against the Vikes. Later, Rodgers and Anthony Barr getting into each other's face. Now, you may remember, Barr is the guy who broke Rodgers' collarbone on a hit in Week 6 of last season. Fourth quarter, down 20-7, Vikings red zone. Kirk Cousins to Stephon Diggs. And he does a mini Lambeau leap. Packers fans are like, no! Ensuing Packer drive, Rodgers flushed out of the pocket. Barr's got a chance to hit him here, and he does not. That drive results in a punt. Cut the lead to 2 there, did Cousins. Then Cousins looking deep. He's picked off. This should have ended the football game. But there was a flag on the play for the second week in a row. Clay Matthews gets called for a late game, roughing the passer call. And that keeps the Vikings drive alive. Unbelievable catch by Adam Thielen. And the Vikings would score the 2-point conversion to tie it. But the Packers get the ball into field goal range for Mason Crosby from 52 yards out. He nails it. But Zimmer had called timeout, so Crosby's got to take it again, and this time he shanks it left. So we're off to overtime at Lambeau. 4 seconds left. Rookie Daniel Carlson, who missed 2 field goals already, has a chance to steal a victory for the Vikes. And he pulls it right. That is his 3rd miss of the day. And for the 2nd week in a row, we have a tie in the NFL.
Pats and Jags in a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. Alert, alert, catch of the year candidate. Yep, Kalen Cole, unbelievable grab, reels it in with one hand. 3 plays later. Blake Bortles finds Cole again. Bortles 3 touchdown passes in the first half for just the 2nd time in his career. Tom Brady looking for Sonny Michel.
2nd and 7.
Oh, can't hang on. New England shut out in the quarter. Back on the sidelines, Brady, he's, hey guys, do your job.
Tom Brady
Got offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels, he's going nuts. They were held to just 70 yards in the quarter. Pats down 21-3 at the half. 4th quarter, Pats within 9, facing 3rd down. Brady is sacked. Dante Fowler recovers the fumble. Jacksonville had the 2nd most takeaways in the league last season. Next, Pats possession. Brady to James White. Ramsey, big hit. Stands over top of him. Some trash talking from the Pro Bowl corner. New England punted. 4 touchdown passes for the 5th time in his career. All other Jags quarterbacks have combined for only 4. Jacksonville wins the rematch, and they start the season 2-0.
You know who is so hot right now? Patrick Mahomes. He was the 4th KC quarterback to throw 4 touchdowns in a game. That was last week. Chiefs facing the Steelers this week, and he was sensational. After punt return inside the 20, finds Chris Conley for the major 5th touchdown pass in 5 quarters in the National Football League. Late in the quarter, KC up 14-0. Mahomes to Kareem Hunt. 7 touchdown passes for Mahomes in his first 2 games. That is tied for the most in Chiefs history. At the end of the first quarter, you know who's not thrilled about the way that first quarter went? That is Mike Tomlin, laying into his D. They kept KC off the board in the second quarter. Mahomes comes back strong in the third. Hooking up with Travis Kelce. Second TD connection of the day for them. Mahomes, second player in NFL history with 4 TD passes in his first 2 games of the season. Later, and he's just having a great time. Later, we're tied again. Mahomes finds DeMarcus Robinson at the back of the end zone. 5th touchdown pass of the day for Patrick Mahomes. 9 TDs in his first 2 games of the season. That ties him for the most in NFL history. And it didn't take him long to break that record, which was held by Drew Brees and Peyton Manning. Ian Eagle on the call. Mahomes, record-setting 10th touchdown in his first 2 weeks. His 6th touchdown of the day. The Chiefs with a statement win over the Birds. Giants and Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. Ahead of the game, Landon Collins of the G-Men said the Giants had a better chance of winning if they make Dak Prescott beat them with his arm.
Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted.
And on the opening drive, it's Collins who comes down to play the run, and Dak will make him pay. Over the top to Tavon Austin, 64-yard touchdown at Jerry World. 7-0. Cowboys. Eli Manning under pressure all night. Giants offensive line looks not great. Antoine Woods the sack. Manning was sacked 6 times. Look at the look on his face. Gah! Manning tries to run in the third quarter. He's hit by Jalen Smith. He'd be okay. Des Bryant actually tweeted afterward, "Did you see his face? I would probably make that face if Smooth was coming at me like that." So Jalen Smith's nickname is obviously Smooth. New York could not stop Ezekiel Elliott in the fourth, capping a 14-play, 82-yard drive. Dallas gets their first victory of this season. Pop quiz hot shot. Named the only quarterback in NFL history to have 4 touchdowns and over 400 yards in each of his first 2 games of the season. I'll give you a hint. He went to Harvard. It's Ryan Fitzpatrick, who threw for 417 yards and 4 touchdowns last week against the Saints, starting again in place of the suspended Jameis Winston. And Fitzmagic on display early. Right, Kenny, it's the first time Tampa has had 2 75-yard touchdowns in the same game. 3 minutes later, Fitzpatrick to Chris Godwin, wide open in the end zone. 3rd TD pass, 3rd quarter. Bucs in the red zone again. And this is Fitzpatrick's favorite weapon, Mike Evans. Every Bucs quarterback's favorite weapon. Fitzpatrick, first player in NFL history to throw for over 400 yards and 4 TDs in each of the first 2 games of the season. Tampa wins. Fitzpatrick, very stylish afterward.
Where did you borrow that from? Is it Gerald's?
That's the shot.
No, it's just game day. Game day wear. We just have to stay humble, you know. And we got to make sure we know how to handle success and all those things. So we can't change who we are.
How many carats do you think are around your?
It's really heavy. It's really heavy. Hey, DJ. I got like 2 more because DJ needs his stuff back.
Wait a minute, you mean
I borrowed your stuff. Sorry. Yeah, I borrowed your stuff. Sorry, Deshaun.
Wait, what is yours? Is any of that yours, or is
The
that?
chest hair is mine.
So it was all Deshaun Jackson stuff. That leads us to our popular news segment, Is This Your Child? Is This Your Child? Which we borrowed from Maury Povich. And here it is, Dan. Did Joe Thornton and Conor McGregor get together to have a child named Ryan Fitzpatrick, who went to Harvard? They got to be pretty proud about that. This has been Is This Your Child?
Still to come. Big deal on the back end. The Jets lock up Josh Morrissey. The details are coming after the break.
Jays in action against the Yankees. American Thomas Pannone making his 4th career start for Toronto and first ever at Yankee Stadium, and his dad was pretty emotional about it. You love to see that, don't you? So proud before first pitch. He got really emotional. This wouldn't make him as happy. Second pitch of the afternoon. Andrew McCutchen. I love Frank's Red Hot. It's a great product. Pannone allows 2 runs in the opening frame. Dad's stressed. But Pannone would settle down after that, facing the minimum over the next 5 innings as he gets Aaron Hicks swinging in the 6th. He goes 7. He allows just 4 hits and 2 runs with 6 Ks. So a real nice outing, making mom and dad proud. We're jumping to the 8th inning. Another kid making his mark for the Jays late in the season, Rowdy Tellez. Opposite field, RBI single, ties it up, his 11th hit since he was called up. Jays score 2 in the 8th, and they win a 3-2, hurting the Yanks' wild card hopes in the process.
The Major League Baseball schedule makers created the perfect September storm in the National League. Dodgers and Cards fighting for the wild card, finishing a 4-game series on Sunday. And once that's done, the Dodgers begin a series Monday against the Rockies, a team they're fighting for the NL West pennant against. So everything is happening. Dodgers going for the sweep on Sunday. Yasiel Puig 5 homers in his last 2 games. Top 7, facing Jordan Hicks. He's down swinging. Puig didn't come close. He went 0 for 3 with a walk. Top 8, Manny Machado takes a 2-0 fastball on the inside corner. He doesn't like that. Machado takes a fastball. Top of the zone. Machado letting the home plate ump Eric Cooper hear about it. 2-2 count. After it ran full, Hicks sits him down with the heater. Machado, yeah, he's having a discussion. Out comes Dave Roberts to back up his player. Machado, even in the field, he's not happy. Dodgers lose, so the Cards avoid the sweep.
So let's see how the Rockies did. Half a game back of the division-leading Dodgers. Bottom 2. Coming, Colorado up 3-0. Austin Slater.
Even if it's an infield hit.
Nolan Arenado. 5 Gold Gloves.
Don't hit it to the gold
and
glove or third base. Indeed.
That's a terrific play right there, barehanded. Big story for the Rockies this season is Trevor's story.
Go Jersey Mikes.
Popped up.
Slater again. Story's got it.
And Story makes a great play.
Having a breakout season. Emerging star for the Colorado Rockies. Bottom 6, Evan Longoria.
Green light.
Fouls it back. Look at this fan. No regard for his own safety. He goes tumbling.
Oh.
He's okay.
Guy caught the ball, then he fell.
And the Rockies get the victory. And so the Rockies are now a half game up on the Dodgers for the West Division lead. And these 2 teams have a huge series beginning Monday in Los Angeles. It'll be a 3-game set. Should be fun. Speaking of fun, let's walk over to the other set over here.
Deshaun's rent-a-sweat.
I get it, because of Ryan Fitzpatrick putting on all that cool jewelry and stuff.
So we mentioned we were playing golf. My whole body hurt. We sat on a hole at a golf tournament, and we didn't have to do anything. How am I hurt?
Yeah, we sat on the tee box and we heckled the golfers at the Children's Wish Foundation golf tournament. And we were in, if you're wondering why we're moving so slow, it's because Saskatchewan happened. That's what I was saying. When we go to Saskatchewan, we usually come back in this condition.
Yeah.
And very happy.
The Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, they've signed defenseman Josh Morrissey to a 2-year deal worth $6.3 million. He led the team with just under 170 block shots a year ago, posted a career high 26 points. This is a huge signing. This is the guy that the Jets had lock up, and got to give Kevin Cheveldayoff credit. He's
locking everybody.
He's locking everybody up, and maybe he's going to lock up this guy too.
Do we have that tweet?
Oh, yes, we do. Sorry, Dan, I almost forgot about this. Yeah, our own Frank Saravalli. Thank you, Dan. He said, I have to think this deal further solidified market stance for Darnell Nurse. Morrissey's offensive numbers are better. He saw 33% less power play time. I will say, though, Darnell Nurse played second most minutes on the Oilers last year other than Cam Talbot, so maybe means more to his team. Hopefully they can get that deal done as well.
Tyler Myers entering the final year of his 7-year contract signed prior to getting traded from the Sabres. Myers, who's been with the Jets for 4 seasons now, hopefully can get a deal done that would have him close out his career in Winnipeg.
Well, I would definitely welcome, to start talking. I would love to be here, and I think I've said that from day one. But we got a really special group of guys here in the room. It's been great to be a part of, and I'd love to be a part of it going into the future.
Seriously, Jets fans have to be thrilled.
Yeah,
if they get that.
Everyone wants to hang around.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to watch them, too.
And the Jets, yeah, they kick off their preseason Monday against the Wild. Viewers in the Jets region tune into TSN 3. Coverage starts at 7.
And also this weekend, Dan, the Jets unveiled their third jersey for the upcoming season. Here is a sneak peek in the latest edition of producer Tim's favorite segment, Sports Clothes. It's the Aviator jersey. It's a new word-mark logo. Mark Scheifele seems sad to be wearing it, but actually tweeted that he really loves it. And inside the collar, it says, "We are True North." Jets will showcase these sweaters for 14 games starting October the 14th. I personally love them. Dan, your thoughts?
I agree.
I think they look sharp, simple, cool. Would like to see those Dale Hawerchuk jerseys make an appearance, but I'm sure they'll be coming sometime. That's been Sports Clothes.
Sunday's loss to the Chargers wasn't the biggest blow to Bills fans this week. Erie County Sheriff's deputies have outlawed people being slammed through tables, and they're looking to eliminate excessive drinking. Bills fans may not have received the memo, though. All of these videos right here are from Sunday. You can't put the folding table companies out of business.
It seems like a shame, but, if that's what the law says, that's what the law says. And now, in honor of Bills Mafia, we remember the table smash. Canada's most decorated tennis player, Daniel Nestor, has been inducted to the Canadian Tennis Hall of Fame. The 46-year-old officially retired from international competition Sunday, ending an incredible career. The former #1 in doubles rankings was formally inducted into the Hall back in August the 5th. And Nestor spoke about what it meant to represent Canada for an incredible 3 decades.
So grateful to have played this weekend. It meant a lot to me. I really wanted to play one last match and end my career in Davis Cup, and I played my best representing Canada over the years, and that wasn't the case yesterday, but I think it's a fitting end. It wasn't a perfect ending, but it was a proper ending, and so I feel very grateful, and thank you, Frank, for selecting me. Thank you, Vasek, for playing, and thank you. Probably I took Felix's spot, so thank you, Felix, for not complaining.
A Canadian tennis legend. He won a gold for Canada, 91 doubles titles, and won 12 Grand Slam doubles titles.
Nice.
The Calgary Flames are a team in mourning as one of the club's co-owners, Clay Riddell, has passed away. The billionaire who made his money in the oil industry, described as a giant in the community. He was named to the Order of Canada in 2008. Riddell joined the Flames ownership group in 2003. Clay Riddell, dead at the age of 81. Since a devastating crash in August, Canadian IndyCar driver Robert Wickens has spoken publicly. Wickens' list of injuries was extensive. Spinal surgery was required. And Wickens, who continues to mend, spoke from his hospital bed.
Hey, everybody. I just wanted to take the time to send you guys a quick note. It's obviously been a long time since I've posted anything on social media, but I just wanted to say that all of your kind words and all of your positivity has meant the absolute world to me and my family. I'm in rehab now, trying to get back to 100% as quickly as possible, but I don't know what the future holds for me. It's going to be a very long road to recovery, and all I can say is I can promise you guys that I'm going to work as hard as possible and train as hard as possible to make sure I'm back in a race car as quickly as possible.
Still to come, Keelan Cole puts OBJ in the NFL on notice. One of the greatest catches you'll see. It's in the Jannies next.
Time for the Jannies. Look at that awesome new graphic. Nats and Braves is where we begin. These are our favorite and least favorite plays from Sunday, and that is Dansby Swanson from the Yacht Club to third for the out.
Paul Goldschmidt. Foul tip.
And Verlander ahead 1-2.
Catches Martin Maldonado right in the testicles.
This will indeed go down as one of the catches of the year, as Dan alluded to earlier. That's Keelan Cole. Oh, man, that was slick, wasn't it?
The Nats using the shift against Preston Tucker.
Against these Nationals.
Puts it to the left side. Anthony Rendon gets over, throws across his body, and gets Tucker at first. That is a difficult play.
How did he make such an accurate...
Guess who played his first game with the Golden Knights? Max Patches Pacioretty, and he scores from the slot. Vegas beats the Coyotes 7-2.
D-backs and Astros. Carlos Correa pops it up in the shallow center. Ketel Marte can't make the catch. Correa going for second. Marte's throw is garbage. So Correa gets up, heads for third, makes it easily. It's costly for the D-backs as Correa scored the game-winning run.
You know what else is garbage? Those Diamondbacks uniforms. Mike Evans, as I mentioned earlier, the #1 target for Tampa quarterbacks, just drops it. Just dropped it.
Matt Ryan, he had a big game on Sunday. Airs it up for Julio Jones, gets some separation, and watch this catch. Oh, yeah, in this game.
And finally, we wrap this one up with the Texans and Titans. The fake punt, Kevin Byard to a wide-open Dane Cruikshank. That's safety throwing to safety. 66-yard TD. Byard, apparently a high school QB, threw a pretty nice spiral. A lefty.
The Argo should give the Titans a call and say, hey, you guys steal our uniforms much?
You're right, they are very similar, but I do like them. I do think they look better.
Next up on the show, we're going to open your mail.
Yes, you've sent us
Or
letters.
our mail. We're not opening your mail. It's our mail.
That would be illegal. Dan wants to see how sticky they are. Now it's time for the mailbag. Len Smith asks, why does Jay always sit on the left of my screen and Dan on the right? It's funny, though, because when we first started to work together, as you'll see in this photograph, things were a little bit different. Why did we switch?
I remember I sat on your side, or I don't know, we sat on different sides one night.
I look like I have 4 or 5 days of a beard growth there.
But a cousin of mine emailed me and says, oh, congratulations, you sat in the right chair, so you got to sit in the lead anchor chair. I'm like, they don't mean anything, the chairs.
Oh, maybe they did at the time. I was demoted.
Dev Platt wants to know, with spooky season around the corner, what 2018 themed costume would you wear for Halloween?
Great question. Oh, we starting with Dan? Okay, we're starting with you, Dan. This is yours, and I like this one.
Yeah.
It's, you're going to be Matthew Shinetti.
That's right. Found out on Instagram he's got a large tattoo
on his chest.
Yeah.
So
our CFL sideline guy.
Pretty weird stuff. For me, Dan, it's absolutely Justin Bieber and his just doesn't care attitude towards dressing this year, right? I just love it. For decades, I've been hoping menswear would get to the point where we could just not care. And here we are. And finally, Drew Betts says, I think Dan should grow his hair out. What would Dan look like with Erik Karlsson's flow? Let's find out. And I think it's a pretty nice look. You look like the unfrozen caveman lawyer here.
I know exactly for Rio what my hair would look like. Tom Cochran's. My hair would look like Tom Cochran's if I grew it long.
And that's been the Jane Dan mailbag. And it's time for our You Blew It segment now, where we point out our many errors. Dan, I blew it in the Packers highlight pack. I said a Green Bay drive ended with a punt. It ended with a field goal. I also said that Daniel Carlson, the Vikes kicker, pulled it when, in fact, he pushed it. And friend of the show, at Harv14 on Twitter. Thank you, at Harv14, for pointing that out. Big fan. I also blew it, and I said the Bills were losing 28-0 at halftime. They were losing 28-6. You blew it when you called the Raiders the Rangers.
I corrected myself. It happens. Hey, But for the first show of the week, I'd say we got a B+.
What a weekend it was.
That's right. Let's see which side of the desk we're here on this one.
What a weekend it was.